We are back on the Big Game Podcast, man. I'm Chris Hunter. Got my man Daniel Horton with me, man. How you doing today, brother?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing wonderful, man. Wonderful, man. Well, we had, always in the Big Ten is always big games, especially for Michigan. Every week, every game is a big game. We had another big one against Oregon a couple days ago, man, and the Wolverines were able to get out of there with a win. I wouldn't say it was one of their best performances, but a solid performance against a solid team, and they were able to get out of that with a win, man. So what were your thoughts on that game, just watching that on TV? How did you think that game played out?
Like you said, another up and down game, especially, like I said, it seemed like that's the theme this time of year, right? Especially in this conference, when you watch other games as well. It's very similar. Real choppy, not a whole lot of flow to some of these games. Big swings both ways by both teams. So it was another one of those games, and I think we were fortunate to pull this one out. I think Dusty kind of alluded to that in his post-game presser that, we've been fortunate to win some of these games, and we're not playing our best ball, right? And that's kind of the thing. That's what you want, right? You would rather learn these lessons while winning than
losing, for sure. For sure, but at some point that we got to turn the corner with some of these things, and I agree with you. Like you said, a lot of swings. In the first half, we had a couple big runs there with an 8-0 run and 11-0 run that got us some leads, and then at the same time, we're letting Oregon hang around and stand in the game with some runs of their own, man. So let's get into first, man. We'll get into our recap of what we thought led to the victory for the Wolverines, right? Obviously, you see Will Tschetter on the screen there, who was a big part of it, but points in the paint. Michigan dominated in the paint. We outscored it. Oregon 36-24 in the paint, and that, is a big part of what Michigan has been doing lately, especially with Vlad Golden playing as well as he's been playing. And then now with Danny Wolf starting to get in that paint a little more, cause some havoc down there, is adding to that paint production for us. And Will Tschetter did a good job of getting off the glass as well. And that leads us into the next key for that victory in our post-game recap is that bench production. 17 points off the bench to all Will Tschetter, Will the Thrill Tschetter. So 17 points off the bench for him to 6 points for Oregon was another huge reason why Michigan was able to pull this game out. And I put a question mark at the end of this one. We won the turnover battle. So we were able to turn some defense into offense despite having more turnovers in Oregon. We had 15 of their 12. But fortunately for us, we were able to convert more, outscoring Oregon 25-13 on those points off turnovers. So like you said, and Dusty alluded to this, it was a situation where we just got a little lucky on some of those, right?
Yeah.
Oregon wasn't able to convert some of our mistakes into points, and we were. So moving forward, as we look forward, we're going to have to continue to clean up this bugaboo of this turnover bug that we have. It's like it's like dudes catching the flu out there. One dude turn it over, then the next dude turn it over.
It's contagious.
And it comes contagious and in waves. So we definitely going to have to clean that up. So this is a good segue for us getting into that film on this, man. And I'll let you lead the way as we get right into this Oregon film and recap some of the things that really, really stood out to us and some of the key moments and key plays by a lot of guys.
The Will the Thrill Tschetter show, got off to a slow start again this game.
Hey boy.
As you can see, we only have 5 points, 6.5 minutes into the game, right? So we kind of had a bit of a slow start. Oregon came out ready to play. And as soon as, you inject a little bit of will into the game, you inject some energy, some life, hustle,
toughness, hustle, effort. That's what he's going to bring every day. And it's good to see a game like this where he was able to put some points on the board as well.
Yeah, so we'll get right into it, man. Here we go. Trey gets into the paint, gets his shot block. Alert reaction right there. Good point guard play. Good shot. Knock it down, big fella. All right. Find him again in transition. He just hit one, right? So now we go counter. Short closeout. Show it. Go.
And finishing with contact with a little double punch, double clutch Finish that's a tough finish by Will in transition with the contact.
Yes, sir. Will the Thrill gets in there, finishes. Nice. All right. Hey, what we always talk about? You want to be the what? Like if it's a loose ball or a scramble, you want to be
First
what?
to the floor, baby.
First to
The floor.
Bad. You try to throw it off Trey Foot. Will first one to the floor. Sometimes when you do things, when you play it a certain way, you know what I'm saying? When you give effort, lose yourself in the moment in the team, good stuff happens for you, right?
The game will reward you.
The ball finds him. Hey, get us going. 26-33 game. Right. It's about giving multiple efforts again, right, Chris? Watch. We get it up the floor. There's one screen. Even if it's not a full contact, like he's trying to create an advantage, trying to create leverage for his teammate, right? Little brush screen into a ball screen, 4-5 ball screen. He gets rewarded. Great pass by Danny. I don't like the one-handed passes, but he completes it.
Hey, you be on these one-handed pass. How else is he supposed to get that ball in there too?
Nah, I don't.
Two-hand overhand pass. It's a good.
I don't like one-handed passes by anybody. Guards, bigs. Hey, that's asking to turn the ball over. You can't pull it back.
Yeah, you can't pull it back. So you got to be accurate. But in that situation, I don't know what you're gonna throw a chest pass.
No, not at all.
Overhead pass. It's got to be one of those shoulder snap passes. Going to end up
left-handed hook pass is probably the only one-handed pass I would have been cool with. That was almost a hook pass, but he got it there. It's a good play.
That's a snap pass. I like it off the shoulder.
I like it, but when they're by guys' ears and heads and stuff, I don't really like that's hand area. All right, so we get to the next one, next play, right? Hey, let me introduce you to my name is Will Tschetter, and I'm tougher than you.
Yeah, that's that energy and activity that he brings every day, and he's on the glass, and sometimes it gets him in trouble because he gets fouls and all that, and he's throwing his body around. But in this possession, man, this is what you want. You want a guy who's active, who's tough, who's aggressive down there, puts himself in a position to get an offensive rebound and a putback by his energy and effort.
Right, another missed shot.
Again, throwing that body around. Yep.
My name is Will Tschetter, and I'm tougher than you. I'm going to play harder than you. I'm going to have a constant motor. Easy 2 points. Right? This is just continuing the domination in the paint by the big guys. I think we really bludgeoned them in the paint to a certain extent as far as points in the paint and free throws. Right? Ripped through by Vlad. Normally we see Danny dropping it off to the bigs, putting it on the platter for Tschetter and Golden to finish. Now we see, the reverse. Great pass. Another one-handed pass out of motion. That stuff scares me, but he completes it. A great quick finish by Danny right here.
Yeah, up in it. Keep it high, finish high. Really good pass and connection and finish by Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden.
Yes, sir. Twin Towers.
Area 51.
Right, Danny attacking the closeout. Gets downhill, gets a shot block, but looking for active on the glass. We got 2 7-footers.
And that's a really good finish. Almost having your head underneath the backboard and being able to kind of jump backwards a little bit and put touch on that with the left hand. But this is what happens. Attack the paint. When you attack the rim and you attack the paint, you put constant pressure on that rim, you put yourself in positions to get offensive rebounds and have that defense scrambling all over the place.
Yep. All right. Next play, look, we talk about giving effort and being rewarded for it, right? Look at the challenge. You like it to be a little bit more under control, but it's an emergency, right?
Emergency challenge, good effort to kind of get an arm, a leg, or anything in there. And those guys, as a shooter, you will never admit that stuff affects you, but a late contest is better than no contest. It affects you.
Especially when it's a 7-footer.
100%.
Right? Great rebound by Jones, pushes it.
Energy and effort leading to a dunk on the other end, and you get rewarded when you play with energy and effort. And those two plays, especially by Vlad and Will Tschetter, is showing that exactly that energy on one end leads to success on the other end.
Hey, yes, sir. That's get rewarded for your effort, big dog. Ball screen, great point guard play by Trey. Find him.
Attack that paint, 2 feet in the paint.
Easy.
And this is where he's been really good all year, man. Catching that ball and finishing it with contact, with touch around the rim.
Yep. Nice. All right. So this was a crucial play, 74-72. A little more than 2 minutes left in the game, right? And it's like we've seen this multiple times this year. I remember we were breaking down the UCLA game and a couple other games. We just talked about you give guys, this much time and this many dribbles in the post, especially a guy as good as Vlad, he's gonna hurt you, right? And we've seen other games where teams haven't given him that time and space to dribble in the post, and he's kind of struggled. But Oregon chooses to stay home with the shooters right here. 3, 4,
5. Drop step, pivot, and then now you got people coming to close and contest.
It's too late.
You can't play any big fella like that, especially an all-conference type big fella in Vlad Golden. He's going to hurt most defenders in this situation.
And 1.
And again, man, the strength and the touch around the rim to pivot through and then finish with touch has been impressive by Vlad all year.
All year.
Man, Vlad, there you go. Yell at him. I see you, big fella. Yell at him.
Yeah, now we're going to get to kind of some of the things that hurt Michigan that allowed, and we don't want to say some of the things, let's just keep it with the turnovers, right?
And let's get into this. This is the lose your mind segment, right? If you Dusty May and you hear that, you know how they play DMX in, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. These are the plays right here that makes the head coach or any coach lose their mind, right? Because these are the consecutive turnovers, the unforced errors, and the dudes who are kind of doing too much out there. This should be the doing too much segment for turnovers for Michigan, and it's something we got to clean up. But roll the tape on this and make us lose our mind watching.
Yeah, so down 12, right? You got to up the tempo. You got to pressure and try to speed Michigan up, right? It starts off bad, right? What we call it, coffin corners. I think they teach you that in junior high.
You try to do your best not to catch that ball deep in that corner because, you got extra defenders. You got the sideline, the baseline, and you got a trap coming at you. So, but as a point guard with Trey, as he's catching the ball right now, he still has space to make a play. It's not like they're on him as soon as he catches it. So he should be able to pivot, square up, and make the right read and not turn this ball over in this situation.
Yep, or just go right back to the other ball handling guard that inbounded to you. Like you have other options than one dribble,
let him
pass out of motion.
Pass out of motion, inaccurate. That's just a play. Up 12, like you said, we got to be able to take care of this ball. And now you're giving Oregon momentum by a nice lay by Jackson Shellstaff.
Hey, you know what I tell my kids? Hey, man, you pass out of motion, the higher the level you get, the more chances you have of ending up on the guy's highlight reel. So quick outlet to Trey, right? They're trying to speed the pace up. So we're playing right into their hands by some of the stuff that we're doing, right? Quick outlet, push, pass out of motion while being undercut by a football tackle by an Oregon player, right? To a 7-footer who travels when he catches it, right? And gets into now he's being pressured. All right, that we get out of it.
All right, now we got the ball in our point guard's hand.
Again,
the person that you think you want the ball in his hands to calm us down and get us into something. And
right.
This is what he does.
Now he should be getting us into something. Maybe Dusty calls something, maybe hearing a trigger or a certain specific action.
Yeah.
But I know this is not what Dusty had in mind. I said I didn't think we would see it again, and we saw it again. So I think I might owe you some money. Right? That can't happen, bro.
And these are those lulls in judgment and those lulls in their composure where they have these consecutive possessions that put them in trouble. Like you're up 12, now you're up 10, and you get these consecutive possessions where you're giving the ball to the other team is what Michigan must and has to get better at if they want to make any type of deep run.
Right?
Yeah, these are things that you can't coach. These are things that
he's
players
crossing over into a guy that's sitting on the crossover.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. Where are you going? That's what I was asking. Where are you going?
20 seconds on the shot clock. Let's get us into an action.
All right. We come off. We twist the ball screen. He snakes it. Outlet. Right back to him. Swings it to another veteran guard. A little shuffle of the puppies right there. Travel. A little bit more patience. Right idea. Just a little bit more patience, right? The ball is coming from that side of the floor. So he has the right idea by driving baseline, right? We've talked about a couple times about him catching and trying to go back the same way the ball came from and turn it over. So he has the right idea. Now we just got to settle down, be a veteran, and get downhill, make the right play, right?
Now we're sped up. And these are all pretty consecutive plays where it's like, okay, one play after another, and it's starting to cascade down where we're getting loose with the ball, and we, like we said before, doing too much.
Doing too much. All right. Good action right there. Great pass by Trey. Another good look by now. Doing too much again. Where are you going? Where are you going, big fella? I know you're a bulldog and I know you like to get downhill, put your shoulders on people, but that's why you got to catch and move it, right?
Just catch and move it, retreat, get yourself out of trouble. Going up against them trees down there is going to be tough for Righty Gale in that situation.
Yeah. Just going to move it, big dog.
And these are what? Those are 4 turnovers all in the span of about 3 minutes of game time, which is probably equates to about 6 possessions. Yeah. So you got 4 turnovers in 6 possessions is something that, Michigan has been notorious for this year, and they got to clean it up, man. It just has to clean up.
All right, here. Good hustle. Long rebound. You want your guards to get long rebounds. Oh, whoa.
And the puppies are shuffling. Right, it's a lot of travels. It's a lot of things going on where you picking up that ball and running with it. And
I had a joke, but it would make Michigan fans a little tight.
All right, and
that travel reminds me of somebody.
Spit it out. You teasing it? Tease the joke. Now spit it out.
That was a little Chris Webberish right there.
Man, they're like, oh, come on, man. Yeah, you gonna get people mad at you.
No, but seriously though, we can't have that in transition. Jump stop, keep your dribble, or either jump stop or keep your dribble, escape, dribble back out, get the ball to the ball handling guard. Let's get into our offense, right?
And those are unforced errors. Like you can't coach that. Dude, dribbling up the court and you can't jump stop and not travel. Like that's something that the players have to take an onus on themselves in these situations to calm themselves down and let's get quality possessions in.
Yeah, for sure. It's something we've talked about previously. Sometimes Danny overdoes it, and he's not the only one, right? Between legs, twice, hip swivel, spin move. Just move it, right? Now Roddy's kind of, and that happens after you travel a couple of times, right? You might have like he really has a 2-way go right here, right? But when you've traveled and turned it over a couple of times, and you got to need a good possession. Now you kind of get statuesque and
you're a little bit more hesitant now. Now you just let me get it out of my hands, let me move the ball.
Right, staying out actions, get Danny in the mid post into a 4-5 ball screen. He got to make the read right now. Right, he has to see he has Tschetter, and then he has Wolf's man, Wolf has already hit 2 or 3 threes already to this point in the game. His man completely turns his back to him. So as a ball handling guard, you have to know there's no chance he has to get back to Danny, and he has no chance to get back to his man. So you're reading this guy, right? He stays home. You got to make the play much sooner, make the read much sooner.
Yeah, that extra dribble got him in trouble, and that's where skill level and all that stuff. You got to be able to make that play off the dribble, see it, and then make it off the dribble without putting that second dribble down. Because once you put that second dribble down, so right here, he should be able to see it on the move, gather that ball, and fire it over there to Will Tschetter on the wing. But that second dribble to kind of get your feet and get the ball in your hand, now you got three guys who are in the gap. And that's, let's be honest, that's a good hustle play by Oregon, but not a great read offensively by us.
All right. Rebound, quick outlet, quick pitch. I believe that may be a trigger in the offense, right? If the ball, how the ball travels across half court, whether it's by pass or by dribble, it triggers certain things in Michigan's offense. A quick pitch, like Namari might have traveled right there. All right, now we just got to make a good post feed. Like that's a lazy pass. Vlad has to do a better job of holding his man off. Yeah. Right. You want to throw it to his hand, but you don't want to. He doesn't really have an advantage or balance right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's got to sink his hip level, lower his hips, get his butt into the thigh of Nate Biddle, and he's got to release and go get that ball with two hands. Like you said, lazy pass and a lazy attempt to go get and secure the ball in this situation. So, like, this is down the stretch.
76-72 game.
Where you got to have a quality possession. So we got to lock in mentally and physically, and we got to get a quality possession. We got to value every catch. We got to value every cut. And Michigan hasn't been able to do that consistently down the stretch, and that's why they find themselves with leads in the game.
Yep.
And always these teams are creeping back into it and making it closer than it should be. So we got to find ways to lock in and get quality possessions down the stretch.
Yeah, no, that's, quick breakdown of some of the things we saw from the game. The great play from Will Tschetter off the bench, the all three bigs giving us Will Tschetter adding to the two bigs that we already have that have been playing well this year, giving us a three-headed monster, right? If they can continue and we have three guys between the power forward and the center positions that are all productive, that gives Michigan a significant advantage in this conference. And I think if we can bottle that up and get rid of some of these turnovers, we'll have a strong finish to the season. I know we have a tough schedule, but I think we're in great position to put some pressure on Purdue as far as who's going to win this league.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in a great position. Michigan State had that couple losses recently, so now everybody is back down in that pack with two losses, and Purdue is at the top of the league. But we got to clean up this turnover bug, man. It's got to be something that we can do to help these guys focus down the stretch and not have these sessions of like consecutive bad, unforced, lose my mind type plays out there that we can clean up, because this team is putting themselves in a great position to win these games comfortably. But now all of a sudden these plays mount up, and now we're in close games, and we've been fortunate, just like we've been fortunate in this Oregon game, to come out with a win. And Oregon was not able to capitalize on some of the things that they probably thought they should capitalize on with our turnovers and some open shots that they had that they didn't make. So we definitely got a little fortunate in this game in being able to pull it out. But all in all, a good effort, a solid effort. Any win at home like that, and Michigan is 11-0 at home for the season, is a good way to start it.
Yeah, I got a basketball question for you, right?
What you got?
We there's been this big swing as far as how many threes people shoot, because I think that can really, drastically affect the game. And I think that's why we see some of these large swings in the game, right? Guys hit 2-3 consecutive threes in a row and leads have evaporated. But I think turnovers kind of work the same way, right? You turn the ball over, man. That's kind of the biggest. I think that kind of is the biggest determination between that creates a separation between your floor and your ceiling, especially for this Michigan team, right? Because we see times where they're taking care of the ball and they're moving the ball and they're getting in shots, they look like a top 10 team in the country, right? Top 10 to 15 team in the country, a team that can make a deep run in the tournament. But then you also say it's like this huge difference when they turn the ball over. They look like a team that can finish bottom half of the conference.
Yeah, no, it gets real quick. So it's like it's the game of runs. So it's a game of, like you said, offensively the runs, and then it's a game of, like, with Michigan, they have turnover runs where they get like consecutive possessions where it's like 3, 4, 5 turnovers in a row out of 6 or 7 possessions, and it's like that creates momentum against you and momentum for the opponent. So, like, it's a game of runs. So they have to figure out a way not to have these turnover runs where we getting consistently like 3, 4 turnovers in a row and breaking our momentum.
And I think that's I think that's Michigan's Achilles heel as far as
100%
the difference between their floor and ceiling. If they could eliminate 4 or 5 of those, especially like you said, the I don't want to say just the crazy turnovers. Like, man, what was that?
Yeah, no, it's the boneheaded turnovers, doing DTM, doing too much, and they're gonna ultimately make your coach lose their mind up here. Dusty is losing his mind over there with some of these turnovers because it's unforced and it's just errors that they have to clean up.
Difference between making it to the second weekend and losing in the first round.
1,000%.